Hello everybody! Today we're going to unbox and take a closer look at the Nike DBreak-Type SE. So let's first take a look around the outside of the box. So in this box is a pair of Nike DBreak-Type SE shoes, and this pair is in a men's UK size 9, US size 10, Euro size 44, and it's in a women's US size 11.5, and this pair is in the stadium green, white university gold colorway. And now let's go ahead and open up the box by flipping up the box lid to reveal the contents inside. And just to give you a look at the underside of the box lid with some details of the Nike N.354. And now let's go ahead and peel back the wrapping paper to reveal the Nike DBreak-Type SE in the stadium green, white, university gold colorway. And let's lift it out, of course, and give you that full 360 look at the shoe. So doing a 360 rotation of the Nike DBreak-Type SE. And setting the box to the side as we focus on this left shoe. So giving you that close-up look at the overall details of the shoe. Now you can see that it does have a very fine weave nylon mesh upper cover and a mixture of other panels in other colors. Of course, the university gold or yellow, and of course the stadium green, and the various textures as well, so you can see overall the materials that make up the various panels of the shoe. So softer, very fine weave mesh with the grid-like pattern, and a much coarser plastic-like fabric for the mudguard around the toe area, and a finer and flatter university gold section right there. And as we see and continue on towards the rear of the shoe, we can see that there is a white Nike swoosh with a flat printing design over that grid-like pattern of that green mesh. And moving towards the rear of the shoe, there is a sturdy heel counter and stabilizer in university gold. And taking a look directly from the back of the shoe to give you some idea of its overall shape, and of course giving you a much closer in look at this very sturdy heel counter, and of course the N.354 on the heel tab, which appears to be leather or synthetic leather with some very fine graining. And on the inner side of the shoe, once again we see those details continue towards the midsection or midfoot area and quarter panel of the shoe. And taking a quick look at the sole, the waffle sole made out of rubber with those iconic blocks for its tread pattern. And now let's take a look from the front or tip of the shoe all the way to the back. And once again, we see the N.354 branding on the tongue in a very simple and plain stitched design. And of course taking a look around the ankle collar. But let's remove the stuffing from the shoe so we have a much clearer and fuller look at the details. So taking a look at the back of the tongue, there is the Nike details and trademark and brand information. And we can see that the tongue does have a somewhat raw edge finish to it, as we can see the foam padding between the outer and inner lining. And around the ankle collar, there is some very light padding around the ankle and heel collar, going very minimal around the heel with a mostly stiff back heel area. And continuing on the inner ankle side, you can see that very light padding, so very minimal in design. And taking a look at the inside labels, so right there, the inner shoe label, and of course the materials label on the sock liner or insole. And we can see that the inside does have a somewhat textured design and surface even on the insole or sock liner, so very consistent on the inside for its texture and pattern. So once again, giving you a further out look of this Nike DBreak-Type SE in the Stadium Green White University Gold colorway. And we can see on the eye stay there's plenty of lace holes right throughout to work with its traditional lacing. And now let's take a look at the sole or underside of the shoe in detail. So you can see the waffle-like pattern with its large square blocks. And they have quite a bit of height or depth to them. And to give you some idea of this rubber material, just tapping on its surface. So very stud-like in design for its rubber outsole. And we can see some patent information there. And we can see some larger heel blocks at the rear of the shoe. And with that angled offset finish as well. And of course, to give you a look at the midsole as well. So just pressing down on it to give you some sense of its firmness and rigidity. And now let's do a flexibility bend and twist test with my hands to give you some sense of the response of the shoe and its firmness, softness or stiffness. Okay, so now let's take a look at the right shoe. So just going to set the left shoe down, and on the side, as we bring the box back in frame, and peeling back the wrapping paper once again, and this time we have the right shoe. And there is a tag that's attached to the shoe with the N.354 information. So just giving you a look right there. And it does have a wax-like or wax texture or covering to this hang tag or hang paper. Okay, so just going to move that hang tag to the side so you have a clearer view of the shoe, the Nike DBreak-Type SE. And of course, let's do a 360 rotation with this side so you have a full look as well. And let's take a close-up look at the details on this right shoe. So we can see once again the design is identical to the left shoe that we just saw. So we can see once again that square-like mesh upper cover with a finer university gold panel right here, and of course this coarser mudguard around the front of the shoe, and of course the sturdy heel stabilizer with a soft and fine texture, and of course the N354 branding around the back. And once again, that very flat applied Nike swoosh in white. And with the sole, once again, that black rubber sole with those square blocks with a stud-like waffle design. And taking a close-up look inside the shoe, and on this side we can see once again the tags on the inside and without the material sticker covering the Nike swoosh on the sock liner right there. So a very, very deconstructed and minimalist, and of course lightweight in design, the Nike DBreak-Type SE. Now let's take a look at the pair together. So let me just tidy the tongue up. And giving you a look at the Nike DBreak-Type SE in the stadium green, white, university gold colorway. And of course from the front to the back as well. And directly from the back and at the soles. So that's the Nike DBreak-Type SE. Thanks for watching and happy walking!